Morning, folks. Hope you're doing well. January of 2020. Just dropped off my daughter at daycare, and I reflected on this advice I got from at the time someone, a principal that was a parent, someone with two kids, and I was either was about to have a daughter or I just had my daughter, and I was sitting with this person talking, and she says, look, the best advice that she got, she shared with me. She said, someone told me that when you become a principal and you become a parent, you just have to accept that you're going to be shitty at everything. You're going to be a shitty principal and you're going to be a shitty parent. And we laughed because that's hilarious. And in some respects, it's so true. But if we look at that, at least from a different perspective, or with a different frame, when you are a principal, leader, an educator, what have you, you have to accept that you're not going to do either of those things particularly well, right? Meaning that if you were just a parent, you'd be an amazing rock star parent. If you were just a principal, you'd be a rock star principal. You probably were before you had a kid, or you at least felt like you could be that rock star, be that amazing person, that leader. And when you have kids, you realize that you got to make some sacrifices, some concessions, and really you just got to accept it. Like, it's just not going to be the same, and that's okay, right? I reflect on that literally right now as I am on my way to work, late, not late, but later than I really want to be, and much later than I used to be when I did not have a kid. And I had a hard morning with my daughter, trying to get her into daycare, and I'm on my way trying to quickly prepare my mind for what's going to be happening today. But in the back of my mind, I know my daughter is a little bit sick, right? And I might even have to leave midday to go pick her up and, just take care of her and all of that. If you are a parent, you know what I'm talking about, right? That means that, when you get home, you can't really be doing hella work, right? You can't be going through hella emails. You can't still be filling out forms and write-ups or paperwork or whatever. You just can't, right? Because you got a family, right? You got people who need you. They need you to be present. They need you to be 100% with them. And that's okay, right? Because truthfully, family is what matters. You just have to manage your expectations. And, and if you are a principal or a leader, or, an educator thinking about how am I going to balance all of this? How am I going to do it? How am I going to have a family and a career? Especially if you're someone who is asked to or required to work very long hours. One, you just figure that shit out because you have to. You got to figure it out. Two, you have to manage your expectations, and you just have to accept that like everything's not going to get done on the timeline that someone else says it's supposed to get done, right? Maybe you could, but you wouldn't sleep, or you'd burn yourself out, or you would literally have a mental health breakdown, right? Hiding in your office, not coming to work, putting in for stress leave. And maybe that's the only way to get things done on time. But that's just not good enough, right? It's important that we sustain in this work and we persist and we're able to keep working because the kids need us. They need you. So if you're thinking about how do you do it, you come up with new systems. You become just as organized at home as you are at work, right? Prepping your meals the night before, prepping your clothes, making sure you do everything at night, prepping your bags, make sure everything's ready in the morning, because we know that every morning when you have a kid is not a marathon, it is sprint time, right? And it is time to try to do everything as fast as you can in 30 minutes to maybe an hour if you can get up really early. And you just figure out how to do that. With respect to being a leader, you accept the fact that you have to let go of some stuff, and you have to be okay with things not getting done the day that you said it's going to get done. You have to accept that, that email that you really want to respond to, you can't. Right? That meeting that you really want to get done, you can't. Maybe you can't do it till tomorrow. Maybe it takes a week. And when you were keeping up with things, maybe you didn't have a kid, or it just wasn't as hard or serious yet. Maybe you're able to do that, but who cares? Fuck that shit. That's not the reality anymore. That was a reality at that time. Now you got a new reality, so they have to establish a new equilibrium of what balance looks like. Most of the time that should be more time for your family. Sometimes, you can every now and then plan ahead so that you can put a little bit more into your work or your career or your leadership. But you just got to figure it out. It ain't easy, but back to this advice that some folks gave me. It's not about accepting that you're shitty. It's about accepting that it's not going to look like what it looked like before. And success and accomplishment will look different. And you have to accept that too and be okay with that. And also be easy on yourself, not take it personal. Know that it's going to feel like you're failing, but of course you're not failing, right? You are holding up a job and keeping up with your family. That's a hell of an accomplishment and a hell of a success if I've ever heard of one. And it's possible, right? There's lots of ways to do it wrong, for sure, and lots of ways to not balance and mess up, but it's possible to do it right. It takes some time to figure that shit out. I say that talking to myself as I am getting ready for baby number 2. In, I don't know, about 4 months, 3 to 4 months. I'm gonna have to figure it out again, right? I'm gonna have to grow some new skills, right? Sometimes I wish that there was some resume that I was developing on being a parent or a working parent, and think about like what bullet points would I be adding to that as I'm figuring out how to do these things to take care of my family and still like somehow keep up with some of the work at school. It's hard, I've had to adapt so many things. I used to have these mornings where I felt so organized, coming in, sit down, open up my journal, write my goals down for the day, meet with my team, get ready. And I realized with a family, and especially with a pregnant wife and a sick kid or sometimes sick kid, it's hard to do all that stuff. I've had to, obviously we do a lot of prep in our mind on the drive into work, and just trying to pick up where you left off. And maybe it is not as intentional or as strategic as it once was, but that it might be the best you're gonna get for that moment, and you got to be okay with yourself. And then try to grow some skills to do a better job the next time. So shout out to all the parents out there who are also educators, also leaders. I believe in you. I appreciate you. Your kids appreciate you. If you got bigger kids, my colleagues tell me who have like elementary, middle, or high schoolers, you start hearing from your kid like, Dad, Mom, I never see you anymore. You're going to all these things, going to events, you're home late again. And they start really, making you feel really bad. And I think, if that is the truth, then you got to figure something else out, right? You don't got to keep being a principal. This shit is designed to wear you out, just like teaching is designed to wear you out and take every last bit that you have. It might be possible to balance. It might not. And if it's not, let's do something else. That's okay, right? And if we have enough control to control our jobs, or people who control to make the job more sustainable, then help it be more sustainable, right? But there's no reason to, tire yourself out and work yourself out of your own job. But in the meantime, until we get there, keep trying your best, be easy on yourself, love yourself, love your family, keep fighting for your kids, both the ones in your home and the ones in your building, and as always, keep pushing, people. Peace.